This presentation is from the Peak T training module, the transformation module, on discounting time. My name is Carrie White. I'm an SIU graduate student. The participant was a 6-year-old neurotypical male. The setting was in a classroom setting with limited distractions. There was no other adult or child in the classroom during any of the sessions. And the materials included note cards to write the textual time in minutes and seconds on, the iPad, which was determined based off of a multi-stimulus without replacement preference assessment, and recording device. The recording device was the use of a phone and the data collection form and protocol. So on the data collection form, during the training sessions, this is the criterion that was used. So 0 was no response after multiple attempts, all the way to 10, which is an independent accuracy on response with no prompts. So based off of this is how I got the percentages that I used. And with IOA, I recorded the sessions, and I actually had another individual complete the data sheet watching the video recordings, and so IOA was at 100%. This is the stimulus chart that was used throughout the procedure. In the next slide, we will go through the set of procedures, but this is just showing the classes and the stimuluses that were used for A and B and Y and Z. So you can see we're comparing seconds to minutes, and then eventually when we get into Y and Z, we're comparing which one would they rather, and the end would be stimulus C would be the response you would want. This is the procedure for discounting time in the Peak transformation module. So first, the stimulus in A and the stimulus that were in the column B were compared 2 at a time, and the prompt was which is more. Corrective feedback was given during this training session. The training sessions lasted until mastery criterion was reached, and then the same stimulus were presented, and this time the prompt was which is less. After reaching criterion with which is less, then Y to Z was compared. During this is why we did the multiple stimulus without replacement preference assessment, was determine which item would be highly preferred. So then the highly preferred item was offered to the child in front of them, and then the 2 stimuluses were still prompted, but this time the prompt was which time would you rather wait to use this preferred item? Obviously, the correct response would be the lesser amount of time to wait. So the recordings of which is more, I will show you right now. So here is the recording.
Okay. You ready? Yeah. Which is more?
So 2 note cards with one with saying the seconds and one with the minute was presented with the prompt of which is more.
Which is more?
Then, like I said, we went to the next step, which was which is less.
Okay. Which is less? Good job. 50 seconds is less than 4 minutes. Which is less?
Then, moving into the recording of Y compared to Z, it was offered which would you rather wait to use this iPad. Unfortunately, the videos that were taken inside the classroom, which is where the data was collected, was not able to be used, so we recreated it, but it is in a different environment.
How much time would you rather wait for this iPad? How much time would you rather wait for this iPad? How much time would you rather wait for this iPad? How much time would you rather wait for this iPad? How much time would you rather wait for this iPad? How much time would you rather wait for this iPad?
Okay, here are the results. So the results showed that this participant was able to reach mastery criterion within the first 2 sessions, of which is more. So during those training sessions, the first training session was at 80%. During that time, they both corrected feedback on the one that needed extra prompting. And then within the second training session, he was able to reach mastery criterion at actually 100%. During the testing sessions, of which is less and which would you rather, the individual was able to reach mastery level criterion within the first session. Here are the references that I used, and thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I appreciate it.